thing that I own, that I think that I own, does not belong to me. It may be our wealth, it may be our car, it may be our time, our oxygen, the food, every single thing in our lives does not belong to us, it belongs to Allah. Inna lillahi ma akhad, for Allah's what He took from us, wa lahu ma a'ta, and for Allah's what He gave to us. So every single thing we own is for Allah. And if we understand this concept, if we start to understand it, that nothing that I have is mine, then giving it to Allah will become easy. It will become very easy for us, because it's not ours in the first place. So this concept is being spoken about in this ayah. Hassan Basri rahmatullah alayhi, he was walking in the streets, and he's seen a man. You know how we count our money? We flip the money. It feels good. We're counting it. We keep flipping it. If it's like a fat stack, we keep flipping it, and it feels good. So this man was sitting down, and he had his dirhams. They had coins at that time, and he was juggling them. He was counting them, and he felt really good. And Hassan Basri walks by and he says, "Do you find enjoyment from counting your money?" He says, "Yes. I mean, this is wealth. Who doesn't love wealth?" So Hassan Basri tells him that أَنَّهُ لَيْسَ لَكَ حَتَّى يَخْرُجُ مِنْ يَدِكَ, that this money that you're having in your hand, it's not yours until you give it to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This money is not yours until you give it for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The moment you spend this money on someone else, that's the moment the money is yours. How does that make sense? The moment you give for Allah, that's the moment you're starting an investment with Allah. That in the hereafter, Allah has it with Him. And He's going to show you the reward of that money you gave. But if you have it with you in this world and you keep hoarding it, you keep keeping it to yourself, it's not only with money, it's with your time as well. If you spend time only for yourself, there's going to be no time given to you in the akhirah. No time given to you. So we have to give as much as we can. And this ayah that we recited, مَثَلُ الَّذِينَ يُنْفِقُونَ أَمْوَالَهُم, Allah SWT gives an example of one who gives in the path of Allah. كَمَثَلِ حَبَّةٍ, it's the example of a seed. You give $1, it's like one seed. And that one seed becomes 7 corns. And in each corn there's 100 seeds. For that $1, for that 1 second of your time, for that one moment of your life, Allah multiplies it by 700. وَاللَّهُ يُضَاعِفُ لِمَن يَشَاءُ. Allah says it doesn't stop there. I can increase it even more. And then He says, وَاللَّهُ وَاسِعٌ عَلِيمٌ. Now Mufassirun say, why does Allah say wasi' and alim? These specific adjectives that describe Allah. Wasi' means someone who expands something. Like if I come in and I move everyone away, I'm expanding the space. I'm a wasi'. And alim, the person who knows all. Why did Allah use these two? He could have used Wahhab, the giver. He could have used Jawad, the one who grants. He could have used anyone. He could have used Rahim, the one who's merciful. But He used Wasi'. Why? Because He's trying to tell us that when we give our time, when we give our wealth, it may seem like we're losing, but Allah is expanding that wealth. Allah is expanding that time. The same 2 hours feels like 7 hours now. But if we don't give it, those 2 hours fly like a second. Allah is wasi'. He expands for us in this world. And Allah is alim, because He is knowing of what we give. Sometimes we give our time and no one knows. We're crying at night time and there's no one around. No one sees us crying at night. No one sees us giving our money. Our left hand doesn't even see what our right hand is giving. But Allah is saying, I know what you give. And I will give it to you in the hereafter. I will take care of you in this world. Wasi', I will expand it, and I'll give it to you in the hereafter. And this is what the Prophet says. A small example, if I give Hamza here, if I give him $20, just $20, and I tell him, Hamza, hold this money for me. And then I come a week later and I tell him, Hamza, can I get the $20 back that I gave you? Can I get it back? And he's like, I'm not trying to give it to you. So now I'm like, okay, this guy's he's being hard. Let me get $5. He says, okay, I'll give you $1. Just $1. So to the people that are watching around us, they're going to think he's a very generous guy. He just gave me $1. But they don't know that I was the one who initially gave him all that wealth. It's the same thing in the connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah gave us everything. He's asking for some time. He's asking for some time, and we're giving so less. It doesn't make sense. Just like this example. That's what the Prophet says. إِنَّمَا أَنَا قَاسِمُ وَاللَّهُ يُعْطِي. I'm just a distributor. Don't give me credit. The Prophet himself said, don't give me credit. Give Allah credit. He's the one who gives. So in life, there's someone who can give to Allah and someone who keeps it from Allah. You know, there's a Sahabi by the name of Abdullah bin Uqba. And this man, with any chance, he was a businessman. So he had the money. Any chance he had, he would give for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So one time a man came up to him and told him, what if you just keep some money for your kids? You're getting everything for Allah. What about your kids? Give something to them. And he replied to them with one statement. This statement is so profound. He says that إِنْ أَنَا أَجْعَلْ ذُخْرًا لِعِنْدِ اللَّهِ أَجْعَلَ اللَّهِ ذُخْرًا لِوَلَدِي. That if I invest my time, my money for Allah, then Allah will make sure to take care of my children. But if I spend my money on my children, then it's going to end at one point. The money's going to finish. When we pass away, can we choose who we're giving our money to? No. يُوصِيكُمُ اللَّهُ فِي أَوْلَادِكُمْ. Allah has declared how much you can give. That's how we know the money's not ours. The moment we pass away, someone else is distributing our money. Someone else is distributing it. So this is the example that a person who gives for Allah, Allah will take care of his life. Allah will take care of his kids. And then I end off with this. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala warns. He warns in the same juz. Allah warns of that person who keeps and he spends his deen to attain dunya. He gives his promise of Allah. He gives that away just to get some dunya from it. It says, إِنَّ الَّذِينَ يَشْتَرُونَ بِعَهْدِ اللَّهِ وَأَيْمَانِهِمْ ثَمَنًا قَلِيلًا أُولَٰئِكَ لَا خَلَاقَ لَهُمْ فِي الْآخِرَةِ وَلَا يُكَلِّمُهُمُ اللَّهُ وَلَا يَنْظُرُ إِلَيْهِمْ يَوْمَ الْقِيَامَةِ وَلَا يُزَكِّيهِمْ وَلَهُمْ عَذَابٌ أَلِيمٌ. Allah warns. He says, those people who give their promises, I can't fast when I'm working because it's very hard, so I'm not going to fast. Or I can't pray in my school, it looks really weird. You see, you're giving your deen for dunya. Allah talks about these people and He says, وَلَا يُكَلِّمُهُمُ اللَّهُ وَلَا يَنْظُرُ إِلَيْهِمْ. You know when you make your parents mad, you make them mad that they yell at you. And then you make them so mad that they don't even talk to you. That's like another level. They give you the silent treatment. Allah is giving these people a silent treatment in the hereafter. He says, وَلَا يُكَلِّمُهُمُ اللَّهُ. Allah will speak to them. He won't even look at them. وَلَا يَنْظُرُ إِلَيْهِمْ وَلَا يُزَكِّيهِمْ. If you look at criminals, the first reaction to criminal behavior is to not make it publicized. To not publicize that criminal. Because you're giving him what he wants. You're giving him attention. If you give him attention, he's going to do it more. So the first reaction to a criminal is don't publicize him. Allah says, I will not publicize you on the day of judgment. No one will know. You'll be taken away from everyone else into the pits of hell, and no one will know you went there. So this is the warning Allah has given us. He warns us, and He also gives us advice. So inshallah, I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give all of us the tawfiq, the ability to give as much as we can in this month. This month is the golden month. It multiplies so much. We give as much as we can. It doesn't have to be money. I mean, I'm a poor guy. I don't have any money. I'm going to be honest with you. But I have time. I can give my time. Or if I have children, make sure your kids are in the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Don't let them wander around these streets and these schools. So whatever you have, you give to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Also, bless us in this life and hereafter.